You gonna sit away from me?
Yeah. I'm gonna sit with my watermelon.
Oh, you're gonna eat your watermelon during the whole thing?
Well, if I get nauseous, I'm gonna take a bite of it.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to Life Worth Living. My name is Michael, and this is my amazingly beautiful wife, Nora, who has a baby inside her tummy.
As Corban loves to tell everyone. If you've seen the title of this video, you already know what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. And we told our church people on Sunday, and that wasn't fun. It was a mixed reaction of, you could kind of see it in the faces, like, oh, that's exciting, they're gonna have a baby, and then most of them realized what that meant, knowing your history.
So last time with Kezia, we were here when we found out that we were pregnant. Which, first,
If you
hear a guy preaching, it's because we have a big.
It's not big. I drove by it.
I can pull this down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't see it.
There's a guy preaching.
And he's not preaching just to the people that are at his area. He has his speakers, and he's been doing it all week. He has his speakers turned all the way up so he can...
He's preaching to the whole village.
He's preaching to the whole village of Tuvalu.
Yeah.
And...
after the kids' bedtime.
Right.
But anyway, so with Kezia, we found out we were pregnant here, and with all of my risks, so I have a couple different risks with pregnancy. I have like preterm labor issues, but then I also have a history of a blood clot. And anyway, so we have two children. Our first two children are in heaven that we lost 14 and a half weeks and then 22 weeks due to preterm issues. So anyway, we knew that I needed to go back to the States because of all the risks. So I went back and Michael stayed. And then Michael came, and that we did a video on our long distance relationship, and then Michael would come back and make trips back and forth, and it was extremely difficult.
And extremely expensive.
Well, we had kind of decided we weren't going to do that again. If I got pregnant ever, we were just not going to do that.
And we understand there are many times where people say, I'm never going to do that again, and they keep doing it anyway.
Which we do that too.
But we came to the point with this one, and we just realized it's not going to work for us
and
this time.
We were originally we were planning that if God allowed me to get pregnant again in the future, we would...
Not now.
we would do something with I would go to either Australia or New Zealand and possibly try to even come back myself and me be the one traveling, or Michael, both, but it would be a lot cheaper and closer. We wouldn't have to spend near as much time apart. And that's kind of what was in the tentative plans.
Yeah.
And then I got pregnant during lockdown when all the countries have extremely tight borders.
So if you're thinking like, wow, this was not a smart decision to have a baby at this period of the year in 2020, when everything is locked down and when traveling is very, very hard. Oh, we agree with you.
It wasn't necessarily something that we
planned,
but God did, and He knows.
Yes.
So anyway, the decision to leave was not easy, and to be completely honest, we have gone back and forth.
There's been times
Many
where
times.
we've even just thought, let's just stay here and
Several times.
pray. But
several times that we've said, you know what, let's just stay here. We'll just stay here and figure it out here. So the last thing that we wanted to do right now was to leave.
Right.
By far. The only thing we want to do less than that is to put the baby's life in danger or my life in danger.
Right.
And so...
And then on top of that, Corban and Kezia are especially Corban, he's at a very critical point in his life. And all of this, Corban feels very deeply. Mm-hmm. And he notices things, and we just don't think right now that it's a good time for us as a family to be apart.
Besides the fact that being apart, so if I went back by myself or just with Kezia or whatever, because of the Solomon Islands, we've been told is not opening up until next year.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what time next year. So the baby's due sometime probably March, February or March. So Michael being able to travel, and so he has to quarantine here for 2 weeks before if you came. So if he came with us and then came back and did the back and forth thing, he has to quarantine here for 2 weeks before he's even able to get out of quarantine to do anything. So it's the practicality of doing the back and forth at this point with all of the restrictions and travel lockdowns and everything. It just does not seem wise. Now, the option of you coming back to visit if the borders open is great.
Once things open, what time things open up?
What time?
That is something. What time?
It's
when things open up, coming back is something that we're definitely going to seriously consider. But
we're all planning on coming back after the baby comes.
Right.
But as far as just you coming back for a short time,
right?
When
well, it's probably going to end up where I have to come back early anyway because we won't have a house.
Yeah. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
We're packing up our house. So literally, I get
and
really.
She is as sick as can be right now.
I get really sick with pregnancy, which I got that from my mom, and I was really hoping that every pregnancy got worse. And until the end, her last pregnancy, she was sick the whole time. And anyway, my morning sickness is really bad. I have to constantly be snacking or I throw up.
And when I have a huge project, I do so much better at just diving into a project and working and not having any interruption. I don't work well with interruptions. Such as, I'm hungry. You don't ask like that.
But and then any kind of smells, it makes me throw up. The smell of something cooking makes me throw up. It's just miserable. I do not like anything about this stage of pregnancy at all. I am extremely grateful to be pregnant, and I'm so excited about another baby, but it's a labor of love. And I really hope that our daughters do not get this. Anyway.
So
we're packing.
We're packing, and we have gone through a whole ordeal. Now, I wouldn't say an ordeal. It's just been crazy. And trying to actually get our tickets booked.
Yeah.
Good night.
And it's just traveling right now is just so complicated because every country has their own restrictions. Transiting through, you have to get all this special approval. Traveling right now is just very complicated.
Right. And it's just not fun. And I don't like traveling as it is when things are normal.
But anyway, we're working on getting our house packed up. We have to get everything packed up. Then we have to get ourselves packed up. And we're working on trying to get other things done to prepare to leave. And
it's hot.
It's really hot.
So we could really use your prayers because it's pretty hectic here.
And it's hard because
we're leaving a place we don't really want to leave.
And right now, just going back to the U.S., there's a lot of uncertainties with that too because there's so many changing restrictions and guidelines and all sorts of craziness going there.
And we've lived a life of pretty relative ease.
We've lived COVID-free here.
Yeah.
We haven't had masks. That's another thing. We're gonna have to wear masks. And I just wearing a mask while nauseous and constantly feeling like you have to throw up without that fresh air. Anything if I don't have like fresh air.
Nora's asked if I could just somehow find a drug to put her out.
Put me to sleep and then wake me up when we get back. Anyway, it's gonna be an adventure, but obviously God gonna take care of it, and He's gonna be with us the whole way. And with the children, honestly, on the flight, Kezia's gonna be she's gonna be the hardest one.
Corban. We can put a kid's show on for Corban, and Corban's going to be glued to it. And
yeah, Corban's in the age where shows work great because he'll just sit and watch them, and so I think
he's going to get tired eventually. But I hope we're allowed to actually. I haven't thought about this if people aren't allowed to walk around in the plane.
I don't know how they're going to do that with kids.
If we can't walk around in the plane, that's gonna be terrible. It's just gonna be an interesting few weeks.
We are really excited to see our family. I don't think the excitement has been able to get set in because we're just so busy trying to get everything done, and we're most of our emotions are directed towards the fact that we have to say goodbye to so many people that we love here. But I think once we're on that plane, I feel like the excitement will pick up that we get to see our family.
Once I'm out of Australia.
Australia is going to be stressful. Australia is really strict right now.
Yeah.
Really, really strict.
Especially, here.
But that's, every country's doing what they feel is best. It just makes traveling at this point not an ideal situation, which we wouldn't elect to travel during this time if we didn't have to.
Yes.
That's why we stayed here.
That's why right. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please continue to pray with us as we close things up here and button things up. Thankfully, we do have somebody to watch the church. Somebody will be watching the church. We're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing video Sunday schools, Sunday school lessons with the whole church. And we have a way to set that up. I'm going to be posting one YouTube video a week on our Pacific Light YouTube channel. For all the Solomon Islanders who watch our page, you can find that.
We're gonna start that back up.
And Nora's gonna do a ladies version of it as well.
I'm gonna try, at least once I start feeling better.
Right.
We're gonna try continuing our schedule of 2 times a week here. It's going to rely heavily on him picking up the camera because when I'm sick, which you'll see in the next video coming out.
Have you seen Corban?
No.
Corbin's gonna be doing it.
Yeah, Corbin's gonna be doing it soon. It's gonna be relying on him and Corban because when I'm sick, I do not pick up the camera.
I was doing a little bit of vlogging, and I was walking into a building, and I was just doing a video of us walking.
Yeah.
Well, then I didn't hear it. Corban just started talking, and I thought he was just telling me a story.
No, he was telling the camera.
He was telling the camera a story.
Aww.
And I had just turned it off, and he's like, "No, Daddy, talk camera, talk peoples." Kid's becoming a vlogger.
That's cute. He's got stories to tell.
He does.
Anyway,
he
I
has
am
tons of stories to tell, and you
sweat.
want to get in the aircon, so.
I'm dripping in sweat. I need to go lay down.
You guys have a wonderful day. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios. Good fellow night.